Well, welcome to the 700 Club. The whole world awaits news that Israel and Hamas have agreed on a deal for a ceasefire and hostage release. The announcement could come today.
Well, some Israelis are not happy about the conditions of the agreement. Others see it as the first step in winning the war on Hamas. CBN Middle East correspondent Julie Stahl has the story.
The only barrier to a deal seems to be Hamas's full and final approval.
For the past several months, Hamas has played the spoiler. But over the past several weeks, our intensive efforts have brought us to the brink of full and final agreement.
Many Israelis express concern because its 3 stages are dragged out over months. It doesn't destroy Hamas and lets thousands of terrorists go free.
The first stage alone is spread over 42 days, and an awful lot can go wrong in 42 days.
Phase 1 includes the release of 33 hostages, begins an IDF staged withdrawal, and releases terrorists with life sentences from Israeli prisons, excluding October 7th attackers. Stage 2 starts on the 16th day with talks on the release of more hostages and more IDF withdrawals from Gaza. Phase 3, all hostages released, the IDF withdraws fully. The slow pace of the hostages release angers many Israelis.
We don't want more hostages left behind, and we don't want to hear about more hostages being killed in captivity like my cousin.
Amir Avivi from the Israel Defense and Security Forum defends the deal. He tells CBN News it helps Israel achieve one of its 3 goals.
Eradicating Hamas as a governmental and military entity, bringing back all the hostages, and creating the terms that never again there will be a terror army in Gaza. We have a stage where we're releasing hostages.
He says Israel can achieve the goal of bringing the hostages home right now, even at a heavy price, and reach the others after the ceasefire.
Israel maintains freedom of operation after the ceasefire. The ceasefire also gives Israel time to reorganize, get the new administration on board. We have Iran to deal with, but it's not things that we cannot reverse and then go back and fight and win against Hamas.
Avivi acknowledges the deal could break down before all the hostages return.
But if this happens and we don't get all the hostages, the pressure on Hamas needs to be huge.
President-elect Trump's pick for Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth, seems to back up Avivi's claims that the hostage release is not the end of the road. In his Senate confirmation hearings Tuesday, he had strong words on Israel's fight against the terror group.
I support Israel destroying and killing every last member of Hamas.
Julie Stahl, CBN News, Jerusalem.
Well, those who disagree with the hostage release and this deal, and it is a lopsided deal for every single one of those hostages, the initial 33, Israel is releasing 50 prisoners who have been convicted of horrific crimes. They're in jail for life, and they're literally releasing terrorists back into Gaza. And keep in mind, Sinwar was one of those released in exchange, 1,000 prisoners released for one soldier. And that was years ago, but from that, you see the horror that was birthed, and October 7th, the fruit of that. So in Israeli ideology and their very culture, if you save one life, it is as if you've saved the entire world. And that's what's driving this. They don't want to leave any of them behind. They want them released healthy, alive, and they'll do anything to make that happen because they believe it's as if you're saving the entire world. From an outsider's standpoint, looking at it, yes, those lives are very valuable, but what is that trade-off? And are you just allowing Hamas the ability to rearm and to reload? The brother of Sinwar has vowed to rebuild Hamas, and will they stay in power in Gaza? All of those things are in question right now, and we need to make sure never again. Hamas, never again. A terror army in Gaza, never again. Rockets coming out of Gaza, never again. That should never happen, and you can't have peace with that kind of thing right next to you on your border. Well, in other news, the House of Representatives have taken a step towards protecting women's sports in public schools. John Jessup has that story and more from our CBN News Bureau in Washington. John?
That's right, Gordon. The U.S. House passed a bill applying to all federally funded schools, essentially requiring them to restrict women's sports to those who are born female. It covers most middle schools, high schools, and colleges. The measure makes it a violation of Title IX rules to allow transgender females, those who are born male, to take part in women's athletics. It passed the Republican-led House 218 to 206 and now heads to the Senate, where the GOP has a 3-seat majority. Well, another round of dangerous fire weather is forecast for the Los Angeles area today, near hurricane-force winds, prompting the rare warning of a particularly dangerous situation. The Rose Bowl is now a wildfire command center. Fire crews from L.A. to San Diego are on high alert. 84,000 people are under evacuation orders and have been warned to be ready to flee. The blazes have already killed at least 25 people and destroyed more than 12,000 buildings in what might be the most expensive set of fires in the nation's history. The massive Palisades fire is only 17% contained. More than 8,500 firefighters are actively battling the blazes. CBN's Paul Petit is in Los Angeles to show us how Operation Blessing is providing much-needed help.
Entire neighborhoods weren't just charred by the Los Angeles wildfires, they were taken out.
Sent out teams today to some of the areas where the fires passed through. There's not an immediate threat, but now they're dealing with the aftermath of no longer having their childhood home, nothing to pass down to their kids. A lot of kind of surrealism where people just haven't really wrapped their heads around what's taking place.
For the thousands of residents without a home to return to, rebuilding could take years. Operation Blessing is helping right now.
It doesn't matter if you're rich or poor, but we definitely want to help, people that have a little less. Just get them that, maybe a little bit of normalcy, because it's going to be a long trip to get back to normal.
To do that, Operation Blessing is partnering with multiple local churches to get supplies out fast.
Without partnership, without organizations, there's only so much we can do.
Today, the drop-off point is Fearless Church in downtown LA.
I think we're meeting both the physical need. We have people coming and going every day. We're sending out supplies and loads all across the city, meeting those spiritual needs through prayer, being present, being there for people.
A week into the LA wildfires, I'm told that drinking water is plentiful. The needs right now are sleeping bags. These are going to go to firefighters who need a place to sleep because they're coming here from all over the country to battle the blaze.
When these are flaring up, we're talking thousands and thousands of firefighters on site. Often they're not even able to always leave and head back 20 minutes to a hotel, or definitely not to their families. So they may only have an hour or two sometimes to just sleep on site. And we're just trying to get them the most comfortable stuff possible.
We went out and went to a few local stores and bought everything they could so we could provide sleeping bags, cots, and like blow-up mattresses. So this is getting ready to go back out to the local fire station so the people there can use it.
Meeting needs in the midst of a disaster. Denver says it's only made possible through those who give to make it happen.
Those donations that come in go right to the heart of where people need help. So those are the ways that we could provide the sleeping bags and the cots and the blow-up mattresses from those donations that will be used here immediately out here in this community.
But this is a perfect and beautiful moment for the church to be the church and to go out to the hurting, the brokenhearted, and give them those physical needs, but the real need is Jesus, and we all know that.
In Los Angeles, Paul Petit, CBN News.
Local churches partnering with Operation Blessing in times of need. Gordon?
The body of Christ joining together to make a difference in the world. And if you're a member of the 700 Club, you're part of that relief. A portion of every gift you give goes into the work of Operation Blessing. If you're not a member, I encourage you to join with us. This is our January telethon. We're asking people to partner with us right here in California, but also around the world. If you want to see the good news go around the world, join the 700 Club. If you want to see people helped around the world, join the 700 Club. How much is it? Well, it's just $20 a month, 65 cents a day. Some can give higher. We have gold level at $40 a month, 1,000 Club, $1,000 a year. We've gotten some significant gifts overnight that are going to be a great help. Here from Virginia Beach, a brand new monthly donor, $6,000. Kansas City, Missouri, an OB partner saying, I want to increase $6,000. And then Hartwell, Georgia, 2,500 club members saying, I want to give a one-time gift, $10,000. That gift will go to help those in California. It will go to help people around the world. It will go to preach the gospel around the world. You're a part of everything we're doing when you join the 700 Club. So do it right now. Call us, 1-800-700-7000.